Hello everyone, Lori here, and I had a request to go a little bit slower when I was doing my little inspirational tutorials. These are some florettes. You could use this technique, I feel, for allium, hydrangea, lilacs. Full disclaimer, I'm a floral art teacher. I teach three-dimensional floral design, but I love using oil pastels over acrylic ink. So I want you to know this is what works for me, not necessarily coming from a regular artist teacher, but this is something that I absolutely thought was fabulous. So I'm hoping you like my technique. So what I do is I will usually for this take 6 shades of a color that's in the background of my paper that I created. I'm showing it on black because I feel like it'll just show up better for this particular technique that I like to do. I will take my oil pastels and I will rank them in 2 categories, going from lightest color pastel to darkest, and use those to create my petals. Now, I will say I sometimes will mix up the combination of the oil pastels that I'm using. What I do is I use the lightest ones to start and create 4 ovals. And I try to be as sporadic as possible, if that makes any sense. I want it to feel more organic, and you'll see I point out later in the video how it can get a little round, a little predictable almost. So almost like you try to do these flowers as if your eyes were closed, because if you look at flowers on a bush, they're not in a straight row or a straight line. So what you're seeing here is me now taking the second darkest color, and I'm going, which you can't see because my head is over the camera, but I'm going from the innermost point and working outwards. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. So utilizing the pastels and pushing out from the center. When it's done, it creates almost like an illusion of cupping. And if you look at like a lilac in the springtime, the petals are sort of cupped. So this works, I think, to give that effect. This is not meant to be a look of exactly like the bush or the plant or the flower. It's meant to be more abstract in nature. So right now I am going back in with the other oil pastel. They're very similar. I can barely tell the difference. I think if you put them next to each other, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now I'm going in with a dark. And this is just to show you that the contrast is there, that will give that shading effect. So I'm going in with the 2 different colors of the dark. Again, I'm using 6. Now, there is no magic number of oil pastels for, again, like this is something that just works for me. And in the beginning of the video, I showed some samples of different colors from lavenders to more pink tones and blue of what has worked. This, again, could work for allium. It could work for hydrangeas, lilacs. And again, it's giving you the feeling of it without it being so precise. I love the look of abstract, and I think it really works well. So what will happen is with the lighter tones, when you start with the lightest in the background, it's really hard to put light on top and then work backwards. So that's why I do the lightest first. Okay, next thing, baby oil, which is just mineral oil. If you take a little Q-tip and you put the mineral oil on it, not too much, and this will help you blend it. Now, you might not be able to see exactly in the video that it's blending too much, but it just gives this subtle kind of shading that I like. I don't always do this. I think in the samples that you saw earlier, I don't believe I did that. But if you want it to be more creamy and you want to lose some of the, like, I guess I would call it the texture, the baby oil helps. But I want to show you here with the white. So because I'm doing this on a black, dark background, the white doesn't show. It kind of just gets lost. Dark blues will show, because remember, now I have a little bit of baby oil. I'm using I'm not sponsored, but Bounty is the strongest. I don't know, it's the most absorbent, I find. Unless you have another brand out there that you think is better, that's fine. I was just patting it to get the oil out of it, because really it'll slip and slide if you have too much. So you want to make sure it dries completely. Please follow directions for mineral oil to make sure you're using it properly. Google that and make sure that you're just being safe, because it is an oil, right? And oils are flammable. So what I'm doing now is I'm going back and I'm adding that middle tone to the petals. Always work. I'm sorry that it's not really showing probably as best as it could, but if you listen to what I'm kind of saying that I'm doing, is I'm going from the center out. So whatever you do, it will kind of like look, I guess, I don't know, in my opinion, more natural. Now, baby oil is also awesome because it's almost like a magic eraser. And if you don't like something, you can just put a tiny bit on your paper towel and it will wipe right off. Like if I didn't like this right now, I could take baby oil and put it on the entire thing and it would all come off. The base is acrylic paint, just so you know. And so what I'm now doing is I'm adding also tiny little petals that aren't attached. It's not like there's not 4, it's just these random little dots to give the feeling that there's more petals behind it without drawing every single one. And again, it's interpretive, it's abstract, it's not meant. Now look, I pointed right there. So I'm pointing because it's getting very linear, and I think my brain that's the way it just put it down, and you don't want that. You want the flower to feel organic. And if there's a straight line, it's not going to look right. So watch yourself when you see that happening. Now, my other reason for using all these different shades of blue in this particular case is because it also helps with that. If you look at like a lilac in the sunlight, there's going to be different shades. There's going to be different tones. You're going to see that there is shadows happening, and you're going to see where the light is glistening off of it. And so with me choosing everything from light blue, almost white, to darker tones, it allows me to give those different hues. I hope this is really resonating with people. Again, thank you for the comment earlier that I needed to go slower with these. I absolutely find it very therapeutic. I'm not a regular art teacher. I'm a floral art teacher. I teach college level flower design. And this just happens to be something that I am, I guess I would say, self-taught with. And I thank everybody for watching my videos. But this is what works for me, and I love it. And so in the spring, I'll probably be doing a juried show. I already got accepted. But, so I'm working on my techniques and working on some pieces to get into that gallery. So here in Connecticut, I hope, again, this is really, please, I have to ask, leave comments. If there's something you want to see done, let me know. Another one thing I need to make sure you know is my backgrounds are done on a jelly plate. And I love the effect that the jelly plate gives me. So this is not just a straight black background. It's got copper in it. It's got a little blue in the background. You can barely see it. And it's got the black. And done with fluid. Mostly it was Liquitex. Again, not sponsored with this video, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Thanks again for watching. And take care for now, and please like and subscribe.